do does not exist. My name is Chaney, and I'm giving this testimony from the United States, New York to be precise. I'm giving a testimony to thank God for the healing of my dad. He was healed of cancer. Squamous Cell Carcinoma to be precise. Cancer is a very heavy news all the time it comes. And it's shocking because I don't have any history of cancer in my family. So it just happened. He had a growth on his knee, on his right knee. It's been there for, I think, several years. So it doesn't hurt him, no problems. It's just there, like people have growths on their body. So, but one day he had a cut on the growth while he was showering, and then it would be bleeding. We're managing it. It's not closing. It just persisted like that. So we said, okay, let's take him to the skin doctor, the dermatologist. So the dermatologist said it's going to be a simple thing. We'll just scrape it, we'll take out the growth, and then keep managing the wound until it heals. And that's it. Very simple thing. Very small growth. Very small growth. Harmless, not painful, nothing coming out of it. Okay, so we go September 26th, and then we go and we do that. After the procedure, come back, give him a follow-up, and 2 weeks' time for the doctor to see how the wound is healing. So we come back 2 weeks' time, and then they see how the wound is healing. It's not healing as expected, but in addition to that, they tell us that they give us this diagnosis that there are cancer cells seen. The growth was sent for biopsy, and cancer cells were seen. That was a shock because nobody was expecting that, not even them. And then he said it's Squamous Cell Carcinoma. And, I'm in the medical field, so I kind of know about that. The shocking thing is that you don't see that kind of cancer in black people, neither people of his age, and you don't even see it at the region of that body. So it was so strange. They were shocked. But the normal thing is to send it for biopsy. So they did that, and then it came back cancerous. So they now came and started saying, we'll come and start scraping again, and all of those things. My dad didn't, he was there, I was discussing with them. He didn't understand what they were saying. He didn't know. Up to today, he doesn't even know, what has happened. So I was discussing with them, and while I'm there discussing with them, getting facts, I start remembering the altar. I'm like, I know I'm in the medical field, but I've been exposed to a different kind of thinking, different kinds of possibilities. And I've been on the altar since 2020. 4 years. So I'm like, I started thinking like David. David will say, is there no cause? Is there no cause to think differently? Is there no cause to think of this situation about Goliath differently? I'm thinking, is there no reason why we should think differently? So, after the conversation that day, I go home, I say, I take it to the altar, we start praying, and then we expect that Pastor Jerry will say something. We were expecting that Pastor Jerry will mention it, So just praying. That was October 17th. There was another appointment, I think 2 other appointments. And watch this. I didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell sister, mom, nobody. I didn't tell anybody in the family. Just kept it to myself. Of course, my dad was there, but he didn't even know. I just kept it to myself and kept praying. I was just doing that until November 12th. We went for another appointment. Now before that appointment, I told my sister. That's when I told my sister, and I told her husband, and then they expressed their own shock and all of that. And so we just kind of absorbed it. It was their first time of hearing it. So I took him. That appointment was they did another scraping again. So every time he goes, they're doing scraping, and then they'll report on the biopsy of the previous scraping. And they'll keep seeing cells. Now they have fear whether it's spreading. So that November 12th, that's when I told my sister, we went for another one. They did another scraping. That one, November 12th came back. November 13th was on the altar. There was a testimony. And in that testimony, there was a woman that testified about her husband. In fact, the title of the testimony was Squamous Cell Carcinoma Reversed. So I have to watch this. And that was the last testimony for that day, November 13th. Woman testified of her husband. The cancer was located in the lungs. Told the whole story of course, in the process, Pastor Jerry gave a word and called the name Squamous Cell Carcinoma reversed.
Squamous Cell Carcinoma. If you are the one, put it on the live stream. The devil is a liar. Let it be reversed.
So something occurred to me. They showed the date when Pastor Jerry gave that word. Something told me, go and check the date whether it corresponds with your appointment dates. So I go and call the doctor's office. Tell them to give me a list of my appointment dates. I've had several appointments with you. Give me all of them. Got all of them and cross-checked it. The date the word was given, October 17th. The date of our second appointment, the very day that the diagnosis was given, October 17th. I said, no, this cannot be a coincidence. Well, you know what that means? That long before we went for the appointment, God had anticipated, God knew exactly what we were going to hear, and the word had come. So I was even praying late. So he had anticipated what I needed already, and he had gone ahead of me. So the word had already gone. So I was like, okay, it's already done now. I changed my prayer. So I received another inspiration on that same November 13th. Right? Take this testimony, always play it. Play it after NSPPD, play it, and that's it. That was my expression of faith that is already done. Word has come prior to the diagnosis. So what are we doing? You know, that's what I kept doing. Next appointment, they said, come in, another one, we'll check if the wound is healing, we'll check if it's spreading, we'll check if the cell is still there or all that. Okay, December 3rd, that was the next appointment. So, December 3rd, I was not available. I had to travel. My sister took my dad on their way back. I called them. The person that saw them told them what they should do to take care of the womb, but didn't tell them about cancer. I'm like, what did we come here to do now? Is this not the main issue? What's going on? I said, okay, no problem. So when I came back, called the doctor's office, I spoke with the chief doctor, the main doctor, the chief dermatologist. He read out everything that my sister was told. And then, in addition to that, I told him, what about the report? In addition to that, he now read out, no residual squamous cell carcinoma cells found. Don't see, no cancer. So in my mind, I was like, if not bad news, it will give me now, but now good news, people will not left it out. But anyway, I cannot thank God enough. I just came to say, thank you, Jesus. What would I have done? What would we have done? What would we have done? God cannot do, doesn't exist. Thank you very much, Pastor Jerry, for making yourself available to do this. Thank you very much. I think of this thing and I'm since economic importance of the things you're doing. Economic importance. When you break down that statement, it simply means everything it will cost you in resources, money, time, energy, emotions, physical resources, mental resources, and then all you need to do is watch testimony because word came. How much? Thank you.